Nice. Okay, so I'm following Paul. Ready to go when you are.
All right, so here we are, round one of the Mega Draft. Jordan J. Entron against Paul G, aka the Dragon. Getting ready. We got blue white control against Paul's deck, which I don't remember the colors of right now.
Well, we're just getting their hands now, so I'll let you know as soon as the buffering screen here finishes buffering.
All right, Jordan takes the play. Nice,
Okay.
nice opener for him.
On this side, the dragon has got well, he's got his plains and he's got his swamp, which is great for starting. He kept it, so he's in the Orzhov side of things.
So Jordan's
Not a
gonna.
lot of. He needs a third land though to really make this hand sing. He's gonna start with Lone Rider probably. Yeah, there it comes.
So Jordan's he's got one of his counter spells. He's got a couple 3 drops, Drogskull, Shieldmate, and Bound by Moonsilver. Um, but he also is missing a fourth land, which is, not where he wants to be in his control deck. He wants to make those land drops. He really doesn't want to miss. He's gonna
So,
hold up, flip the switch
what do you
here.
think? What do you think of that attack by Jordan? I guess he's drawing him in, right, for the Shieldmate trap.
Yep, draws him in, gets the
Yeah.
Shieldmate, because that rider can do a lot of damage over time, especially if it flips.
This is interesting. If you're Paul here, do you aim your circle of confinement on the tapper or on the 2 damage giver?
He's probably just thinking that he wants to take as little damage as possible, and taking out
I guess so.
the two
Yeah.
damage will do that.
He has a couple of creatures that are humans as well, which I guess that doesn't interact well with the priest,
Jordan
if I
had
recall correctly.
Jordan had the option to counter that, and instead
Oh,
hovered over Circle of Confinement to say that that's going to be his answer for it on the board, and plays the
gotcha.
chaplain out.
So interesting. I think you attack here with the morning patrol, right? If you're Paul, don't you? Just to get that. If he trades for the chaplain, that's good for you.
Yeah, but if you attack in, then Jordan either attacks in right now, and I don't know that I want to trade my 3/3 for your 3/1, or he could have just tapped down the 3/3 and got in for free, basically too. Although leaving Paul's board looking kind of empty, minus that food token.
Paul's got some heat he can play here. He can either play his Hobbling Zombie, which he's going for. He's also got an Eternal Scourge in hand, which is that rare that if it's targeted with anything, it gets exiled. But you can play it from exile, so you're not that worried about it.
And Jordan does have the Cathar Commando in hand if he wants to pop that
Right.
Circle of Confinement and get his creature back. Draws another Dragskull Shieldmate for the turn. So the spirits are here to play, but the
There's
Lord hasn't been found yet.
lots of action here.
Yeah.
So what Paul's done is he's discarded his Scourge. He has these Scavengers in hand, so he's giving himself a card that he can recur with the Scavengers to play them for
Because
value
he didn't
on
have it
curve.
before. Yeah, you don't want to play
Well,
Scavenger and not get a card back. It doesn't feel very good.
I guess he could get his Lone Rider back, but maybe he thinks a 1/1's not going to be great on this board, and I don't think he has another way to gain life here. So it's not going to flip anytime soon.
Jordan does have one of his counters that flipped the switch that he's been holding.
Yeah, now if you're Paul, maybe you're regretting, right, throwing out your 3/3, because a 3/3 on this board, it doesn't look that bad, right? It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Is it spell or ability? Does the Garden Priest tapping it just make it exile, or is it spells only?
Oh, geez, that's right. Yeah, no, I think it's a spell or ability. So, yeah, pretty weak on this board. But you can replay it forever. And he did have the defenestrate, so that wasn't going to mess with his
Oh,
Scourge forever.
he does
But
have
maybe
the
that's one of the.
defenestrate, but Jordan just drew Essence Flux, the first blue card he
Gosh,
took in the draft. As a, this card is good. I might want to be in these colors, and here it is, saving his priest.
I gotta say, like so far, lots of interaction with these decks. It's intense, right? Already.
Jordan has drawn another planes, he's 2 lands away from casting the Bruna in his hand, but has plenty of do till then.
All that Paul has is a Borrowed Grace and a Plains, so he's pretty much out of ammo. He's hoping to top deck something juicy here. Otherwise, it's going to go to Jordan, I think.
And Jordan's good.
Oh, and right on, right on schedule, we have Gisa Glorious Resurrector. Now, knowing as he does that Jordan's got the counter spells, yeah, he's going to go for it. Okay. And it resolves. It's good.
It resolves. Now, Jordan's deck does play at instant speed, so he's going to flash in a couple creatures here. The Drogskull Shieldmate and the Cathar Commando, which can get back the other Shieldmate.
Anything to deal with Gisa?
He's got the Bound by Moonsilver, which will lock it down, but I don't think it'll stop the ability. So if Paul can take advantage of that, it will still happen, but yeah, not being able to block on this board with Jordan pressuring like he is.
Yeah, and I think that's what Jordan's going to do. Seeing the Gisa, seeing the tapped hobbling zombie, just going to go right for the throat,
and with the
and not give Paul a chance to recover.
With the land draw, he's now
Oh
one
my
land
God.
away from a Bruna.
Okay, Paul has something here. He's just picked up a Path of Peril,
Path of Peril. So
which is a board wipe.
Oh well.
And with the mana he has, he can play it for its full cleave casting cost, which means he gets everything off the board.
So everything doesn't include enchantments. Are both these creatures going to come back?
No, it's just all creatures. All creatures. Sorry.
And we'll get everything off the board, but again, Jordan's still 1 mana away from Bruna. And if
Yeah. So he's I mean, basically. Yes.
Oh, he keeps the Gisela down around. Oh, and Jordan's thinking, no, don't, no, because that would have lived, right? And this won't.
The Cathar Commando won't.
Yeah.
No, it gets the small things.
Oh, it's
actually,
it's not power, it's toughness. I got it.
So this was actually a good move.
It's Jordan. You can never look at Jordan and say that can't be right. Of course he's right.
Yeah. But I mean, now the question is, was Paul right? So if he played it for its full mana cost, right? He takes everything off the board. Here he's still taking 4.
Yeah, he's still taking 4. He's at 2. Jordan drew another Cathar Commando he can flash in here. Those creatures can't block, so he needs 2 blockers here to not die. I mean, I guess he can sack the Commando, get back the Patrol. He can tap down a Shieldmate. So he's not dead. He can block through it. But if Jordan finds that last land, and here it is for Bruna.
Okay.
Yeah, he does draw.
So this game is basically over. We got a Borrowed Grace and a Borrowed Malevolence on this side of the board, but I don't think either one of these you got Bruna coming out. I think that's going to be game over, man. Well, game over.
It's game over anyway because the priest is summoning 6, so it actually can't tap a creature down. So.
Well, the Borrowed Malevolence. I think that gives something -1, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. So he'll kill the Cathar, but he's going to need an answer for the Bruna.
This is ideal. So Paul really here. He's got to be congratulating himself. He's got to think he's stabilized, right?
He's doing it. Yep, everything's great.
Yeah.
The board wipe did it. Oh, and he gets to keep his morning patrol.
Yeah. So all being said, right? He's got to be feeling okay. I've been through the worst. You know. I made it.
Does tap down Bruna forever, right? So.
That's right.
It's the creature that Bruna brings with it. You know, can that push 2 more damage? And it looks like it's just a Cathar Commando.
Jeez.
And Paul's going to keep reanimating with just at 2 life. He might be able to stabilize.
Oh my God! I thought Paul was finished here, and wow.
We were saying that board wipe play wasn't, he didn't hit all the creatures. What a mistake! And because he didn't, look at all this value that he's gotten off of Gisa.
It's true. I did not see the game going this way, and that's all on me as a bad commentator.
And
I'll take that right in the nose.
Gives him a nice sack outlet too for Gisa, so he can destroy his own creatures and then get them back if he wants
disturbed.
Yeah.
All those disturbed tokens, or decayed tokens. Sorry.
So I think here he's trying to
Because
think.
everything that's decayed here, the Flesh Taker is going to eat them. I think.
Yeah, nothing can block.
Right.
But he only needs a couple creatures to block. He only needs to be able to block the commando,
Mm-hmm.
which
So far.
he can just fine. Oh, and
Oh.
Jordan's looking at, oh, I can move the Bound by
Yeah.
Moonsilver over.
Exactly. But move it to what? I mean, Geese is still
You put
obviously
it
the main threat.
on Priest, right? So then it can't tap down Bruna, and
Yeah,
then you
that's
have
fair.
lethal.
Yeah.
But you have to make it through the next turn, and there is a lot of damage on the other side. Although he doesn't go for it.
So do you move it now? I mean, you have to move it now, right?
It's sorcery speed. He had to do it on his turn.
Yeah. Did he pick that up, or can you do it at instant speed?
I don't believe you can do it at instant speed
Okay.
because it's not highlighted. Although maybe it
So I
doesn't do
mean,
abilities. Maybe I'm missing something.
if uh, if he did that, hold on a second. I'm gonna look up Bound by Moonsilver.
I wonder because if he goes to do it, he could just sack it to the Flesh Taker, and then Bound by Moonsilver goes away forever. But and Paul can kind of sack his whole board to Flesh Taker if he wants to and
Yeah,
gain
only
life.
as a sorcery and only once per turn.
Yeah, so he could have done it. Although Paul can gain a bunch of life by sacking his board to Flesh Taker if he really, really has to.
Yep.
And he could even like sack Morning Patrol, recast it from the graveyard, or put it under Gisa. Do it again. So
Yeah,
he's
this
not.
is not over by a long shot.
Yeah, he's not dead to a Bruna hit. Although it will take a toll on his presence.
Oh God, yeah. So, if you're Paul here, what do you do? Do you start pushing damage with some decayed tokens and then eat them, or?
It's tough, right? Because he needs to push damage, right? He needs to find a way to
Yeah.
close out this game and win. But at the
Yep.
same time, he's at 2. If he makes one mistake and holds back one less
Yep.
blocker than he needs to, like it's going to be game. So he needs to be very careful in his choices of what's staying back, what's going in, what's sack fodder, what's not. He
Jordan
also,
has him on the back. Oh my God.
now that is an attack. So maybe he has
Oh,
decided
oh, he's got the borrowed grace. I hadn't
he's
figured
got the
that.
borrowed
So he's
grace.
done he's
Yep.
done the math. He's actually math is not just for blockers.
Hmm.
It's also for attackers.
And he can even Flesh Taker sack the decayed tokens after damage
Yep.
if they don't die.
Yeah, he can also sack Gisa. She's just sitting around doing nothing now.
Mhm.
So
Well, the Cathar Commando can be sacked to blow up the Moonsilver too. So he could get back Gisa if he really wanted to. So he's
wow.
blocking the Flesh Taker. He's taking the rest.
Here comes the spell, which
Four
Jordan has
cards.
no idea is coming, right?
Yeah, and Jordan.
And wisely, he's not actually playing the back half of that card. He's keeping his mana open for sacking.
Yeah, it doesn't pump the defense on anything because
Nope,
he can sack
doesn't
something
need it.
anyway. Well, he
Nope,
lets the Flesh Taker go. Is it lethal? It's lethal.
that's it.
Yep.
Wow.
Another
Whew.
block from Jordan wouldn't have mattered. Doesn't matter what he would have blocked. Paul had lethal.
No, that was pretty savage.
So yes, so Paul.
Before all those tokens
Wow.
started coming back, right, via Gisa, that pump spell looked like it was going to do nothing.
Yeah, because it was just he had
Right.
just had the 2/2 zombie in the pump spell, right? And it's
Yep.
great. Give it +2/+2 for a bunch of mana. But played the long game. That board wipe set Jordan behind. Jordan couldn't find much to close out the game. Not a lot of card draw to bring him back. Very lucky, that it ended up that way.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so many things had to go right there, and they did for Paul.
Is Paul doing any
Um,
sideboarding over there? I know Jordan's a big sideboarding guy. He's taking his time here, looking through graveyards and trying to figure
I
out
mean,
exactly what he
Paul.
wants to bring in.
I mean, as the winner of the match, you're probably less likely to do dramatic sideboards. And I don't see any action going on here. He's just kind of looking. Not a lot of swapping, but more just looking
You
at
know,
what he's got.
that's where Jordan's at too. He's looking at his sideboard. He's looking at the board at the graveyard. He's going back. He hasn't made any swaps yet. He's deep in thought. As down a game. A loss here means that the league win is out of his hands. So he wants to
Yep.
do what he can to stay in this thing, right?
Oh, this is crucial. Yeah. So basically, Jordan slips here. The story, the narrative that we've been building, right, about the indomitable, indefeatable JM Tron. We got to start following Paul around to round two. So yeah, Jordan's got to dig deep. He's got to come back from this shocking game one, right, and the reversal that he couldn't have seen coming, right?
Yeah, that the top deck of the board wipe at just the right time, it's just. And then it was the top deck of the Gisa the turn before, right? So it was
Yeah,
top deck
yeah,
rare
yeah,
to top deck rare. Um,
yeah.
it's hard to play around things like that.
Oh, it definitely is, and that is it's no blight on Jordan's record that he didn't see that coming because they were just as you say big play and a big play. Now to Paul's credit, right? He maximized the effect of those top decks by playing them right,
Right?
namely not sacking Gisa to a cleaved version of the board wipe and sticking with the taking out the small guys, which proved to be crucial later on. And holding the borrowed grace in his hand until it was lethal, right? Until it absolutely made the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, great plays by Paul.
Hmm. And we see that both of them know what they're doing. They got their decks together. They're tight packages. Right from turn two, I think we started seeing interactive plays, and it didn't stop until the game was over.
And so Jordan takes out a consider, just a one switch on his side. I didn't catch what card he was able to slide in, but he only made one small change in his deck.
I think we're seeing this basically the same from Paul. I didn't see any swaps. I wasn't watching closely for a second there, but I didn't see any swaps in the later part. What's the hand look like from Jordan?
It's it's one of those hands. He's got two islands. He's got no planes.
Yeah.
So he's only got two lands. He does have a startle, which
Uh-huh.
and a syncopate. If he can find a
Okay.
third land, he gets to cast Drag Under. So he's going to be looking and trying to find that plains or third land to really get his hand going.
Okay. So basically, Paul's in the same situation but reversed. He's got two swamps, no plains, and three white cards. Okay. However, he does have Shady Traveler and Gisa in black. So he's thinking very, very carefully about whether he
Yeah.
wants to keep this hand, hoping to draw into two of really any lands, so he can drop the bomb that saved him last game. He's mulliganed it, and now he's rewarded with a Sorin.
I think
And
Jordan would have been happy if Paul would have kept that. Like Jordan wants Paul to have a slow, not do
yeah,
much hand with what he's got going on.
yeah. So Paul is in the races here. He's going to curve out basically from turn two Graph Rats into turn three Eternal Scourge. And assuming he draws another swamp, he can curve out in turn four into Sorin the Mirthless.
Jordan does have a syncopate. We can see if he can hold that for the Sorin or if he lets it go before then. It's going to be. Yeah. He probably doesn't expect a Planeswalker to be coming. He didn't see one last game.
That's right. Yeah, Sorin's going to be a shock here. But I don't think. I mean, I don't know. You tell me if you think Jordan's going to waste a syncopate on a Graph Rats or an Eternal Scourge, right? Because this
Probably
syncopate
not.
exiles the creature, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you don't need to
So
cast on the
that means
Scourge.
the
No.
Eternal Scourge can be played from exile.
Yeah.
So he's not going to syncopate the Scourge because it's just replayable.
I think it depends on how much Jordan values keeping early threats off the board. Because right now, he only has one creature in his hand and he can't cast it. He has one white card and it's a creature. Everything else is a spell. He does get that plains off the top. So now he's probably just looking to sit back and see what happens.
So now do you syncopate the rats?
Nah,
You don't.
he's got the startle. Wants to just
Okay.
draw a card, hits another plains, another island
Okay.
off the top.
He's in this. He's in this then.
Yeah, he drew all the lands he's going to need for a while. So now he gets to do the game he was starting to play last game of hold up either Flash Spirit or Spell.
Good place to be. Those are good options to have.
Yeah, and of course, the same thing happened last game. He's going to do it again.
But this time there's a strength of arms on the other side of the field.
Let's see. Does he go for the strength of arms? Jordan's tapped
I
out.
think he does. I think he does because he also just drew a drug skull infantry, so he can double spell this turn if he plays the strength of arms. It just seems to work out.
Wants to
And
keep
then
the
we're gonna
graph
see
rats
it.
around.
Well, I think he knows that like having threats on the board against Jordan's control heavy deck is going to be crucial. Okay, didn't draw the second swamp, so we're not going to see Sorin this turn, which is kind of good actually for Paul, right? Because Syncopate is waiting in the wings there.
Syncopates up.
Um,
Jordan also drew another Cathar Commando, another flash creature. He can get in here if he wants to. Also has a Revenge of the Drowned, a nice little bounce spell. He's looking at Syncopate.
wisely not
Yeah,
not
didn't do it.
breaking it off, yeah, into the Scourge. I mean, I guess that it buys him a turn, right? But
Yeah, and with
you
all
want to
this,
save that for the Sorin.
this is a lot of pressure though.
It
You know,
is.
Jordan's creature doesn't block very well.
Like Paul would have had the perfect curve if he drew that that swamp. He just got a defenestrate off the top. Not gonna waste it on a Cathar Commando, I don't think.
You know, lets the Scourge just go.
Yeah.
Jordan sitting on Syncopate, Drag Under, and Revenge of the Drowned.
How is he gonna get out of this? Right? How is he gonna get out of this?
He fires off Revenge. I don't think Paul minds too much. And another Cathar Commando off the top. So flash
Okay.
creatures and spells. It seems to be all we need.
Well, I tell you what, all that Paul has now is Defenestrate and Sorin. So that Sorin's gonna get syncopated when it comes down to it.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. So really, it's just this rats, and that rats is not an issue.
Kind of depends on how long it takes Paul to find that black land, right? Because if he
Oh,
can
here
find
it comes. Here it is.
oh, yeah,
Here it is.
he needed to be able to hold up because now it's Syncopate. It's only X1. Can Paul
What's
pay
he gonna
X1?
do?
Oh, it's X2.
He's
Oh,
he's not walking into the syncopate.
doesn't do it.
Doesn't do it. Anyway, he could have paid the syncopate cost there, right?
Yeah, he could have. So
Yeah.
that was the turn to do it.
Yeah, that was the turn to do it, but he didn't know, right? He didn't know. He probably thought there was a convolute, which means he'd pay 4, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have that. So that was probably the right read for Paul, but it turns out to have a devastating effect, right? Because if he snuck that sword onto the board, it would be
Look.
hellish.
Oh, but now
Jordan.
Jordan's gonna fire the Syncopate off on the Morning Patrol.
Yes, he is. Because
Exile
he was
it.
frustrated. He was frustrated last turn that he couldn't do it, right?
Yeah, and now he's like, I don't
And
want to hold
now,
up this spell. Doesn't know that, and now Paul's got the Syncopate out of hand.
yeah. Which means Soren's going to come down and start causing, well, problems.
Jordan draws a Fierce Retribution. Which
Oh
I
my
believe-
God. Okay, wait. Paul's going in for the kill. He's blowing out his defenestrate. He thinks he's got it now. Soren's definitely going to come down this turn. He just drew another swamp, so he probably going to play the swamp first, so he has the mana to get past this, conditional removal.
And Jordan has a Destroy Target Attacking Creature spell in his hand, so.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Now
well, I guess that's vampire.
Or Destroy. Yep. So he's gonna cleave it. He's thinking about cleaving the vampire. He does.
Yep. Okay, so tell me, what
Oh.
does?
Avacyn off the top.
Oh, jeez.
Avacyn off the top.
Off the
That's-
top. What's on top of the deck? What's on top of the deck?
Oh, so it's the reversal of last game, right? Where Paul was kind of out of it, and the top decks brought him back in. And
Dear
here
Lord.
is Jordan with his 8/8 flying indestructible. Now, Midnight Scavengers, Graph Rats is on the board. It is gonna meld, right? So we get a meld here.
Gonna meld. I think he gets, if I'm not mistaken, he gets Menace, right? When he combines those.
He does. Is he gonna try and race? I mean, I guess
Well,
he's not blocking Avacyn, right?
I guess he's not blocking Avacyn is the way to put that, yeah. And everything's on board. You see exactly what Paul's got.
So he gets in for
Jeez,
5.
not quite enough.
It's not
not
enough, but
quite enough.
he's not dead to Avacyn, right?
He's not dead. No.
Like he gets in for 5,
Jeez.
knocks him down to 3. Jordan is still like he draws an island. I think that's going to be a good game.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Goes to the concede.
Oh my God.
And the
Gra-
Harveston off the
a
top.
meld a melded graft rats for the victory in game one or game two of this match.
Yeah, so congrats to
Whew.
Paul for his round one win.
So
And
that
Yeah.
was intense, man.
Yeah.
One good draw deserves another.